Okay, so this is a self-improvement tier list of like fads or whatever you want to say, decisions that I made specifically for self-improvement. In my experience, tier list. Let's go. Moving to a big city, absolute S tier immediately. Moving to a big city, I mean, everyone talks about it because it genuinely is true. When you move to a big city, all of your old habits are like vanished and gone, and they don't exist anymore. All of your good habits and your bad habits, you just get a brand new template, and you have like no like predisposition to do something because you're in a new area. Just moving to a new environment, it does something to your brain where you just total blank slate. Every single habit that I was trying to stick to when I was still in Minnesota, I like wasn't able to follow in Minnesota, but as soon as I moved to Austin, boom, easiest thing in the world. It's like the biggest life hack on how to start and kind of just reinvent yourself. Moving to a big city, absolute S tier. Everyone talks about it. You should do it. Next, let's go writing down your goals specifically, like taking like genuine time to sit down and like journal and figure out, okay, what do I actually want, and write it down. This, honestly, I think maybe it'll be a little controversial when I say this, but really not that big of a deal. Like it's not going to make or break your ability to do something if you write it down on a piece of paper. There's so many videos out there about like, oh, manifestation, and when you write it down, blah blah blah, whatever. You don't need to write shit down to achieve it. I can think of so many times in my life where I hit a goal and I wasn't super focused or like determined about getting that goal. I just hit it. Like I wasn't like overly thinking about why I want that goal to happen and just like putting so much importance on hitting the goal, and I hit the goal. Then also times in my life where I did do this and I didn't hit the goal. It's not going to make or break your ability to do stuff if you write it down. It is still like, I mean, it's not a bad thing to do though. Let's say you have an evening where you have nothing better to do. Taking 1 or 2 hours to do this, it's not a bad thing, but it's not super important. I'm gonna put this at a C tier, just because like it's not a bad thing to do, but you don't need to do it. So C tier fits it pretty well. Next, let's go getting sunlight every single day. This one, for me, I fuck with this. I think this is really helpful if I'm ever trying to think of something creative. Instead of just like sitting in my office or in my room or whatever, trying to think of ideas, spending that time like going for a quick walk outside with sunlight, best. Like it improves your mood. It like lowers cortisol. I don't know all the fancy shit, but it just makes you feel better. And if you're trying to be creative, pairing that with improving your mood is just always a good thing. But also, it's like you don't need to get sunlight every day to hit your goals. Like, think Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world. And I'm sure everyone's seen that picture of him just pale as hell because he doesn't get any sunlight because he's working all the time. Not, you don't need to do it, but it does help, especially if you're trying to be creative. I'll put this at a B tier just because it definitely helps. Definitely is something that helps boost productivity if you're a creative person, but not absolutely necessary. Shut your fucking mouth. That leads into my next one. Having a pet. I have a cat, but as a pet in general, okay, let me give you some context. The reason I have a cat is because once upon a time I was at an Airbnb for work reasons, and this literally 2 week old cat that was starving to death looked like it was going to die because you could see its rib cage through its skin. Horrific. Anyway, anyone with any type of morality is going to let this kitten inside, give it some food and some water for like maybe 1 to 2 days, and send it on its merry way so it actually has a fighting chance. So that's what the idea was. Long story short, I still have this fucking cat, and it's like a year and a half later. Absolute shit show. It's horrible. Absolute shit show. I hate it. It only takes up time in my day. I have to make sure I feed it all the time. I have to clean up after the messes that it makes. It literally is just horrible. It only takes energy away from shit that I'm trying to get done. I'll be doing something important, and then all of a sudden my cat just goes, and then I have to stop what I'm doing and make sure it doesn't throw up on the fucking carpet. It sucks. Don't get a fucking animal. I'm sure dogs are similar. Just don't do it. Fucking sucks. I hate it. All right, next. Let's go buying a course. Buying just any course in general. I'm not going to like say a specific one. I've actually bought a couple courses in my day, and I feel like I've experienced both sides of the spectrum where I got one that was super, super good and super handy, and like I got a lot of tangible results from the skills that I learned. Then I also got just the worst of the worst Miami grifter, total bullshit course. There was 2 videos. They were both about mindset, and there was no actual. It was just bullshit. So I've experienced both sides of the spectrum. I mean, kind of that being said, because I have had really good experiences, and then also the worst of the worst, just kind of natural that I would go in a B tier. Because it does depend on the person. Because there could be somebody that buys the best course in the world, but they're just lazy and they don't get anything out of it. But then there are genuinely courses that just do actually suck. So it's really depending on the specific course. So definitely a B tier because it could go both ways. Just I would say to anyone that's thinking about getting one, just do your research. Or I guess maybe tread lightly is the correct way. Because there's good ones and there's bad ones. And typically you can kind of figure out before following through with paying for it. Before you do, you typically just kind of like looking at the way they operate, and testimonials are good too. Sometimes they're not the best, but just kind of seeing your first impression kind of tells you a lot. But yeah, they can be good. They can also be bad. B tier. Next, we'll go planning your day the night before in your notes. And specifically, I do it in my notes app if I need to like remember something and write it down. This actually pretty handy. I only use it for the mundane tasks, like super mundane shit, like what am I going to wear the next day? Super simple stuff as literally the night before you go to bed, you're brushing your teeth, just, okay, really quickly, I'm going to grab the shorts and the shirt and the underwear I'm going to wear tomorrow. I'm going to set it on my bathroom sink so that the next morning when I brush my teeth, just boom, done. No thinking. Just it eliminates your need to use your brain in the morning, and it just speeds up, I guess, your morning routine. You just get shit done quicker if the decision was already made prior to. Literally just only the mundane shit like that. Like, what am I going to eat in the morning? What am I going to wear in the morning? This, that, and the third. Just whatever little teeny tasks that you can do the night before genuinely helps, speeds you up. I'll put this at a B tier. Obviously, it's not going to like make or break your ability to get shit done, but it definitely helps. Definitely a productivity boost. B tier for that one. Next, let's do quitting alcohol, like completely, just never drinking. This, honestly, I think it's overrated. I haven't been drinking alcohol for like this past 6 or 7-ish months. The reason that I decided to do it is purely because I'm cutting. And if you're like trying to lean down, alcohol is the absolute worst thing for that. If this was a tier list about like best things to do when cutting, this would be S tier, but that's not. This is just self-improvement. I think people take it too far when they say like never have a drink ever, it's going to make you superhuman. Bro, you can let loose every now and again, because there's also something to be said about if you're just locked in 24/7 literally all the time effort and you never do anything fun. That's a recipe for burning out. Like letting loose every now and again, like maybe on the occasional weekend you go and have a couple with the boys, not a bad thing. That stuff like that literally prevents burnout, and overall long term would increase productivity. So it kind of depends who you are and what your specific goals are at the moment. But I'll put this at like, honestly, this might even be, is this a D tier? I'm going to put this at a D tier just because you don't need to never drink alcohol. You can have a drink every now and again. Obviously, if you're alcoholic, that's a different story. But you don't need to completely never drink ever again. It's not huge. D tier for that one. Next, let's go practicing your enunciation skills and doing like articulation practice, whatever. For me, what I do, and this is the thing on the list that I've only picked up recently, is I'll like read a book and I'll say, from pages 1 through 5, I'm going to read every single word out loud, over exaggerate the enunciation of every single letter in the word so that I can practice facial muscles that I don't usually use and practice my tongue, whatever. There's something to be said about practicing your enunciation and sounding, just having a more effective voice. You just sound more competent, and sounding competent is definitely important when you're trying to meet new people. So this is honestly probably like a B tier, especially if you have a lisp or something, and if you practice your enunciation, you can get rid of your lisp. You can minimize the amount of times that you stutter. It's just you become more effective at communicating, and that's actually pretty helpful. So that's a B tier for me. Next, we'll go eating good foods or just having a good diet. This one, slept on. I think this is actually super slept on, because if I've felt that in my life, if I was to eat bread in the morning or even like for lunch, if I eat a ton of carbs, I get brain fog and I get sluggish. Like that's literally the recipe for food coma. And every time I eat bread, I get like a little mini food coma where I just like, I want to lay down. But if I eat fruit or just a good protein, it's like the opposite. Like I get energy. This, immediate A tier for me. It's not you don't need it to be superhuman, but genuinely helps me. If I'm eating just fruit and good meats, I feel good the entire day, and I never have to worry about having any crashes. So actually, A tier, that's slept on. I recommend it for everybody. Next, we'll go posting content, not watching content, but posting content. This, super good, because one slept on part about posting content consistently is it's a really good crutch whenever you feel the urge to doom scroll. Instead of actually doom scrolling, just going and watching your own content, because now it's not doom scrolling. Now you're just watching yourself, and you can kind of analyze things that you can improve in your content, and now it's a productive thing. And it's also just like having something that you do every day. Like let's just say you post a TikTok every single day. Just having anything that you're doing every single day regardless just builds that discipline muscle and helps you stay focused and do something over a long period of time. It's just good for you and helps build good habits. This is S tier, honestly. Posting consistently, S tier, helps you build the discipline muscle, and then also you can watch your own videos if you ever get the urge to doom scroll, and that way you're not just rotting your brain. You're actually kind of analyzing and improving. Got a couple more hidden over here. Next, let's go reading books. Just in general, not any specific one. Reading books, this also slept on probably. It might be a little bit overhyped, but it definitely helps. It kind of falls in the same thing with being a good communicator. The more books you read, just the more words you know, the more complex words you're able to recite. And also, I think this also probably helps articulate yourself well, and it's just for that. And then also there's knowledge. There's good and bad books, but at the same time, even if you're reading a bad book, that's way better than doom scrolling or a lot of other things. It just practices that focus muscle, and it helps you practice that discipline of reading and doing a mundane task for a prolonged period of time. So this, I'm going to go A tier. Super good for you. If you have nothing better to do, pick up a book. Helps you practice that focus muscle, which we all need to practice nowadays. Next, this is a good one. Going to the gym every single day specifically. Immediate S tier. I don't even think I need to explain this. Going to the gym every single day, obviously being healthy and having a good physique just gives you more energy and energy throughout the day. You don't have crashes. But the big thing is the mental aspect. The only reason I got into the gym purely for the mental part, so that I could feel better about myself. It gives you mental clarity. If you're doing it in the morning, it energizes you for the rest of the day. You feel good about yourself, and it practices the discipline muscle. This another thing. Same thing with the content thing. Just having something that you do every single day and just proving to yourself that you can stick to something, This super effective. Obviously, there's physical benefits, but the mental benefits are super slept on. Immediate S tier for me. Next, let's go drinking coffee or just any form of caffeine every single day. This, I feel like everyone could probably agree with. Super helpful. To me, drinking caffeine is basically like anti brain fog. You just become more focused. Like the benefits of reading, practicing the focusing muscle, or just doing anything for a long period of time, practicing focus, is just focus in a cup. Boom. Super awesome. I'm going to go A tier on this. Only reason I'm not going S tier is because I've definitely had times where like I'll make a pot of coffee and then I was so focused on whatever I was doing, whether that was like a Zoom call or I don't know, taking notes or just whatever. Sometimes I'll make a pot of coffee and then I'll literally just forget to drink it. And then it'll become 3 p.m. and now it's cold. And I just forgot to drink it, but I was still productive because I was so focused. So it's like you don't have to drink caffeine to be focused, but it definitely, there's only upside to it. So immediate A tier. Here's the last one. This is my favorite one I've been looking forward to. Doing door-to-door sales for self-improvement only. I did door-to-door sales for 3 years, and I made money doing it, but the reason that I got into it in the first place was purely so that I could improve my communication skills. Kind of falls into the articulating, reading, whatever thing. Becoming a better communicator. This is so helpful. Door-to-door sales, you face rejection, so you get good at facing rejection, which is huge. You do something that's really fucking hard. It's super hard to do door-to-door sales. Like mentally, everyone hates it. People that first get into it, it's known that people will like cry for like the first 1 to 2 weeks. They'll be knocking doors and there'll be points in the day where they're literally crying because of how hard it is. So if you can like force yourself through that, it's honestly like it's like a mini military boot camp is doing door-to-door sales. It makes you really mentally tough. Also, you talk to so many different types of people. Oh shit. You talk to so many different types of people. So you're forced to become good at communicating to every type of person. You're not like in your little bubble where you're only talking to people that have your same interests and you're able to talk to those type of people, but you talk to every type of person across the board. Rich neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, middle class, this, that, and the third. You go to different states sometimes. You'll talk to people in California, Illinois, Florida, whatever. If you're traveling when you're doing it too, you just meet all types of people. You have a really like intimate relationship with a million types of people. You just get to know people. You practice yourself. You get better at charisma, communicate. I mean, there's just so many benefits. If you would have talked to me before I did door-to-door sales, you would have thought I was a loser. And then after the door-to-door sales, it would have been like, wow, this guy's the man. Not to do my own horn, but immediate S tier. I would say this and moving to a big city would be in like S tier plus. But seriously, door-to-door sales, best thing you can do. I recommend it to anyone. I don't care if you're doing sales for your life. You need to be able to communicate well. You need to be able to talk to all different types of people. You need to be able to sell yourself. And that's all door-to-door sales is. You're just selling yourself. Who gives a shit about what product you're selling? You have to sell yourself. The whole purpose of going door to door is getting people to like you. And then when they like you, now you can maybe sell them something. So practicing getting people to like you, huge. Absolute best thing you could do. S tier all the way. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. This is my first real YouTube video ever. So thrash me in the comments. Tell me how shit I am. I like that shit.